United in Hate is about the left's collusion and how it aids and abets the totalitarian and terrorist enemy in our terror war today. I've always been very interested in why the left not only is apologizing for our tyrannical enemies, but actually is complicit with them and aids and abets them in our war.
And by the left, what kind of groups would you consider in the left?
Well, there's a lot of groups, but I'm just speaking about the left overall. The left was on the side of the Soviet Union during the Cold War, which I document in this book, and as we all know. And today, they continue that alliance, but today that alliance is with radical Islam.
Now, you're from Canada.
And, yeah.
Do you notice that leftism on the part of the mainstream media there?
Well, it's just like in the United States, we have some good media and some bad media. But overall, there is a mainstream media in the United States and in Canada which is very much controlled by the left in terms of the permitted discourse and boundaries of debate.
CBC?
Oh, absolutely. CBC is a complete leftist anti-American entity. And it's a disgrace. The CBC is a disgrace in terms of its anti-Americanism. CTV, well, I don't know, not so much. They're a little bit more balanced.
And how about in the U.S.? Do you notice the mainstream channels, ABC, NBC, CBS?
Well, all I can really say is thank God for Fox News in a lot of ways, and for the internet, and for talk radio, because the mainstream media and all those cable stations, they don't really let the truth come out on a lot of levels about especially the destructive nature of the left.
And why did the left associate ideologically with the jihadists?
Well, I can't answer that. That's a long explanation, but I will say that the left hates the United States. The left hates capitalism, and in many respects, since the jihadists want to destroy Israel in the United States, and since the left hates their own society and wants to destroy capitalism, they have a lot in common in terms of waging a war on freedom and democracy.
Where does Israel fit into the left's agenda?
Well, the left, we see a huge anti-Semitism rising in the left today, and the left hates Israel, it's against Israel. If the left was really the progressive entity that it believes that it is, and says that it is, it would be denouncing what happened in Itamar just recently. There's an example of the monstrosities that are perpetrated against Israel, and the left is against Israel and on the side of the Palestinian death cult, and that's shameless.
What about women's rights in the Muslim world? Shouldn't the left be supporting women's rights against jihadism?
Well, this is my main interest. Look, today in terms of, here's something about Israel, for instance. Israel today is a sanctuary for homosexuals that are fleeing from parts of the Arab world and from the Muslim world. And for some reason, you would think that leftist gays and the homosexual communities in the West would be supporting Israel, because Israel is for gay rights. And yet they're on the side, in terms of the majority of numbers, the left, and it's also the gay left is on the side of a culture and of an ideology that tortures and persecutes and kills gay people. So that's an example of the hypocrisy of the left. Also, radical feminists and feminism in general, you would think they would be for women's rights, and yet they've abandoned the women that are persecuted under Islamic gender apartheid, because you see, they don't care about women. Their main agenda, even the radical feminists in the West, they want to destroy the United States. They want to destroy capitalism. If they really cared about women's rights, they would be fighting against Islam and how it treats women in the Muslim world.